this works great as a warm-up exercise. And I was playing the notes that I hear Herbie play on the record right now, except this is one octave above, and because I don't have the low D flat, I'm substituting that note, unfortunately. Other than that, this is what I hear. But what I want to show you is a version just without that top note. So without that note, it still sounds like Cantaloupe Island. And played this way, it's the best pattern that I can come up with for focusing on technique, stroke, consistency of sound, time, building stamina, all these things. I mean, it just sounds so good. Much more fun than a method book exercise. Plus, you can play along with the recordings instead of the metronome. So it's easy to find this as sheet music. I just want to show you how I play it. That's the left hand, and then let's call this a grace note. But it's a grace note on the beat, on beat 3, so not, it's very important. Now, I play that as a dead stroke while this is ringing. So, and I rotate a little bit around that dead stroke in order to make room for this. So now you have to be aware of some fake books that first of all don't have that grace note, and additionally they add this chord. So it might look like, but I don't hear Herbie play that. I just hear, except maybe towards the end of the trumpet solo, he's going, repeating the B flat major, but that's a variation. I mean, I would just stick with the basic figure, like, yeah. Then the second chord, same principles, just a few different notes. And this is where, if you have a 4-octave instrument, play the D flat, but I do this. And then that chord is supposed to have the D in the bottom plus an A. So if you can, play the D in the bottom, but this is the best way I can represent that chord. And this, I think this is not exactly how the melody goes, but I like to dead stroke this one. If I've had a very strong cup of coffee, I might do. So I still have to dead stroke this one in order to avoid. So if I played it hand to hand, like, I would get, it wouldn't sound as good. So when I do that, I switch to the middle finger. I mean, for me, it bounces a little better. So. Okay, so if you've gotten to this point, I suggest stopping the video and starting playing. As I said, there are several recordings of this, really fun, and it's also a good tune to start improvising on. I mean, after all, this is a jazz instrument, and it's a good tune because it only has 3 chords. And besides, if if you're playing with the hip-hop version from Blue Note Records, it only has 2 chords because they're leaving this one out. Okay, enough about that. Let me just quickly show how to play the full figure, just adding this note. Then you have to stick it differently. You have to do that. And in the second chord, and this interval, I don't switch grip. I don't do this. You know, some players prefer to curl the thumb around the inside mallets for something like this. Maybe it feels more secure, but it's actually not necessary. You could just press down with the index finger here. So that works. Now if I have something like that, then I am doing something like this. Otherwise I prefer to keep the thumb where it belongs. Okay, last little comment. If you have a neighbor who's a bassist, have him or her play that bass note, bass line, and then play this down here where it really belongs, you know. And I prefer to play that at the edges. I don't know why. Okay. Have fun. Take care.